Books are the best influences that you can surround yourself with when you don't necessarily feel like you have control of your surroundings. I didn't come from much. My mom was addicted to drugs. My father just didn't quite know how to be a father. My brother spent most of his life in prison or jail pretty much ever since he was old enough to be locked up. I found myself at 17 years old, not able to walk. I had a torn ACL and I was sleeping in my car. That was a 1995 Geo Tracker that was supposed to have a soft top roof, but that was broken. So every time it rained, it got completely rained in my car. And I found myself just sitting there at nighttime when it was raining and sleeping in my car. I started thinking, why am I here? What did I do to get into this position, and how do I get out of it? Now I know I'm nowhere near where I plan on going, but I'm also far from that 17-year-old homeless kid that's sleeping in his car. And I have books to thank for this. Now I'm going to give you the top 5 books that made the biggest impact in changing my life. So the first book that I feel like made the biggest difference in impacting my life is going to be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is one of the most sold and most popular self-help books, and it's for a good reason. This book taught me that if I wanted to change my surroundings and the world around me, I first had to change what's going on up here. I had to change my negative thoughts and negative habits for positive thoughts and positive habits. It also taught me that I needed to have a vision in where I wanted to see myself, and I had to align my habits and thoughts with that vision and make actions towards them on a daily basis. So the second book I feel like made the biggest difference in making an impact in my life is going to be Power vs. Force. And this book really changed my whole entire perception of how I viewed everything. I was at a time in my life when I was trying so hard to achieve what I was wanting to achieve, and I was just living for myself. And I was wondering why I was just bringing so much resistance and why I was trying so hard and just not quite getting the results that I was looking for. And with this book, it taught me that we are all one living human species, and the way to gain true power is to not live for yourself, but to live for the other people around you. And the best possible thing that you could do for yourself is to bring up and help the people around you. And the best thing that you could do for the people around you is to grow and do the best thing you can for yourself. We are all one living species. What helps me helps you. What helps you helps me. So the third book I feel like made the biggest impact was Mindfulness in Plain English. And I started reading this book at the same time that I was learning to meditate. And that's what the book does. It really just guides you through and teaches you how to meditate. And I was at a time in my life where I was finally starting to align the correct intentions with the correct passions towards the right goals. And I had so many ideas of how I could positively affect not only my life, but all the lives around me and hopefully the whole entire world. And I just didn't know how to execute, and I couldn't really organize my thoughts well enough to create a good plan. And that's when I began to meditate. I really was able to clear my mind enough to see the vision and to see where I really wanted to go, and to align and to learn how to execute and to really make a positive impact towards my goals. As I began to meditate, I got better at everything I was doing. I was sleeping better, my cognitive abilities were increasing, I was learning quicker than I ever learned in my life. On top of all that, I was happier and more content, and just felt like I had more mental energy to really pursue the things that I was passionate about. So the fourth book is none other than The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. Through this book, I was beginning to learn how to use my time and energy effectively. I was finally learning to do the right things that would make a real impact towards not only my goals, but the world, people around me, and even a complete stranger. This book is actually what led me into starting my website and starting my whole YouTube series, and to really learning how to put the information that I've learned through my knowledge and experience into a content format in order to help as many people as I possibly can. That is really my goal through all of this, is I want to take the things that I've learned through my experiences in order to help as many people as possible. So the fifth and final book is The Art of Learning. As I finally began to align my correct intentions with the correct goals, and I was figuring out what I wanted to achieve and how I was going to achieve it, I quickly began to notice that I had a lot to learn. Everything I had to learn became overwhelming, from the website creation to learning how to use a camera, to the lights, to even the editing process. It just became so mentally exhausting to where I was stuck, and that's where most people quit. This book really helped me through the learning process. It taught me how to dive into each session in order to learn and grow through each time I touched the camera, through each time I was editing, to where I learned that if I really wanted to achieve something great, I had to go into this with the mindset of learning and getting better at it every single day. And what all this did was it created a true, genuine passion for everything that I was doing. As I was beginning to see myself improve in skill and to see my own progression, there was no other better feeling. And I began to just fall in love with the process of learning, thanks to this book. So if you become an average of the top 5 people that you surround yourself with, there may be 2 people who you cannot control. They're going to be around you anyway. You can fill those other 3 voids with books. So if you want to understand finances, there's somebody who wrote a book who's a master of finance. If you want to understand your own spirituality, there's so many books that masters of spirituality have wrote. Whatever you want to learn, somebody wrote a book about it. The greatest minds of not only our generation, but from the generations past, most of them have wrote books, or people have wrote books on them. So if you feel like you're needing a positive influence, use some books. If you're interested in getting any of these books, I have all of them in a link in the description below, so check those out. If you have some other books that you feel like made the biggest impact or difference in your life, make sure you leave those in the comment box below, because I'm always looking for new inspiring reads to help me take myself to the next level. So also, if this video helped in any way, please give it a big old thumbs up and think about subscribing, because we're coming out with new videos every single week. And also, I got new updates on my website as well at www.thewillgrant.com. Thanks for checking out.